Do you want to take this and do this? Then join me, Irvin, Parish Program Coordinator for the Great Ascension Trash Bash, held on March 26th through the 31st. There will be a Trash Bash Award ceremony on Saturday the 31st at 11 a.m. at the Ascension Chamber of Commerce in Gonzales. There'll be food, prizes, and fun for the whole family. Bring the kids, bring your family, bring your friends. But most of all, bring your love for this parish. That's the Great Ascension Parish Trash Bash. Let's clean it up together.
Welcome to the Recreation Committee meeting, March 13, 2007. And meeting is called to order. And Ms. Sheriff Fondo, can you do the invocation?
Yes, I will. Thank you. Father God, we do give honor and glory to your name. We thank you for the many blessings that we have here in Ascension Parish. And Father, as we gear up for this springtime, summer weather that's coming, we just ask that you would give us the desire to serve the people of this parish where recreation is concerned. We ask that you give our children a wonderful, safe summer and a safe ball season, a safe bike season, whatever their sport is, Father God. We just ask you to be with our young people this summer. And Father, as always, we do ask that you get our soldiers home safely and quickly. We thank you for all the many volunteers that serve this parish with their heart and soul. We thank you for every soldier, every policeman, every fireman, everyone, Father, that is in service to the people of this great nation. And we just give you thanks as always in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Amen.
United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just want to go back to roll call. Everyone is here, and this is our first meeting when everyone is present. So, hey, we're doing good for that first Tuesday meeting. And we also have a new member that just came aboard, and we'd like to introduce everyone to her, Miss Pam Ellis. And welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll go moving on to recreation update by the director of Ms. Cheryl Kinch.
Thank you. Recreation works till 5. I apologize for my tardiness, but we do work till 5. We have finished registration for baseball, t-ball, and softball. The numbers are down somewhat this year. We are waiting to figure out why that happened. Let's see. Regular maintenance of the parks. We have just about finished the 12-year-old field at Sandoval Park. We met with the school board last week about the skate park. I'm very happy to report and optimistic that that probably will still happen. So we are progressing forward with that.
Question.
Yeah,
Sure.
I have a question too, so Doug, go right ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Would you prefer us just to ask questions? Or
That would be fine. That's fine.
Do you want us to wait till the end?
No, that's fine.
Okay. When you say the school board's all right with that, and exactly what is it they're all right, just so the people.
Well, we looked at the Reynolds Lambert Park, and we looked at the concerns of the school board, and I think that we will probably still use that site should we progress with our skate park, except we will not be using that front part right on Airline Highway. We will move it back by the center.
Okay. All right.
And that's primarily a wetlands issue. Mitigation is very expensive.
Okay, so I assumed that's what it was, but I wanted to understand the public watching.
Thank you for
they probably
clarifying
didn't
that.
Follow exactly what it is they're okay with.
Absolutely.
So that site then is what you're saying is they're completely okay with a skate park.
Yes, we're still talking, but everybody seemed to be on the same page. They don't have an opposition to the skate park. We are still looking, but we think that that is still the best site.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And Cheryl, you had just made a comment on the wetland portion of it, but that can be worked out on it, pretty much.
We hope so.
Okay.
We hope so. We're optimistic.
Ms. Sherry, we still feel that this is the best location, being it's not centralized. You know, because they're going to have to transport these kids to get there, you know, being it's that far out. And
Well, the opposition that we ran into at Prairieville, apparently there's an organized effort to keep it out of Prairieville. And one of the reasons that makes Reynolds Lambert Park such a good site is that there will be no houses on that 16th section. So the development will grow around the park as opposed to the park being put into a, you know, highly
I
populated.
guess my biggest question, and had people come to my attention, that, you know, transportation to get these kids to that site is going to be a little issue.
I would just add that right now they're driving to Hammond.
Yeah.
That's the ones that's doing it professionally, though, right?
No. That's most of our skaters here that are not skating illegally in Veterans Park and the courthouse and the schools and the libraries. Those kids are packing up and going to Hammond.
Okay.
Ms. Cheryl.
I just wanted to say that they did study 3 locations, and that was the one that they chose. And part of the reason was because it would be accessible from the interstate and from the airline, being its 2 major highways that it could get to. And also because it's in close proximity to Sorrento, it would be easily for patrols to pass by for police protection as well. I think that was another concern that
Right,
they
it is a
had.
highly visible site.
Right.
And one of the things when you are going to develop a piece of property and you're going to spend the kind of money we're talking about is letting that recreation vehicle also be an engine for economic development. So one of the things that we did look at was the accessibility to the interstates, should we be fortunate enough to secure an exhibition or a tournament. And that's something that if you've ever been out to Stevens for a tournament, you know that traffic is a major issue.
Mr. Hillenberg.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And if you think about it, and Todd, I know exactly where you're coming from, but when you think about that particular location, it is really probably of the 3 locations we looked at, most central out of the 3 sites, and of course most accessible to the west side, and then also the western side of the parish. And if you look too at all, most of the development that's taking place has been in the northern to central. Well, they're inching southward, and they're coming more and more toward this area and the area of Reynolds Park and Sorrento and Santa Ma, and that all that area is eventually going to be developed as well.
Absolutely.
As far as landowners that do want to turn their property over for development.
You're right, Councilman. If you drive out Highway 22 and or 44, you can see that the development along those 2 highways is tremendous. Even the school board is looking still at property in that area.
Right.
So again, it's just a matter of time before Highway 22 becomes the next exit. We've just about impacted everywhere else, so it's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then well, you can continue with your report.
I just want to add another addendum to that. If you look at 22 and 16 are the major routes coming into Ascension out of Livingston Parish. 22 is one of the most traveled roads in the morning and in the evening. So we will also be accessing the Livingston Parish traffic coming into Ascension Parish with that site. Also, one of the other things that we had to look at was the unavailability of funds to purchase land. So if we look at land in the northern part of the parish, it's running $45,000 to $50,000 an acre. If you're looking at a 10-acre park, that wasn't something feasible within the budget constraints of my department. So we had to look at the properties that were also, that we already owned or that we had leased. The other nice thing about that property with the school board is that even though we don't actually own the property, because we have a lease agreement with them, we can still write LWCF grants and use the property value of the land as an in-kind match. So we tried to look at it from lots of different viewpoints. Because we really, really need and want this skate park. It should not be illegal to skateboard in Ascension Parish. Okay. Softball and baseball. I wrote an order today for 3 sports, totaling almost $15,000 in equipment. And the reason that I think that's important is because this represents all of the equipment that has not been returned to Park in 2 years. I have called. I have begged. We do not have the authority to charge them a fee. However, you can see that we are probably looking at over $10,000 worth of equipment that has not been returned. Any suggestions on how I can get that back? Short of sending a police car over there, I'm open to any and all suggestions. But this is an ongoing problem.
Sherry, have you got, we're legal on that by sending them a certified letter? 'Cause
We can send, we've tried sending letters.
a certified letter from the illegal.
And telling them what?
It's parish property that they have to return it.
Yeah, I've said this constitutes theft.
But did it, like I said, did it come from illegal? Had a letter here.
No, but I will try that.
That makes a...
Well, one of the things that we try to do in recreation is we're trying to develop character within our young people, and it's really hard to develop that when this is adults.
Right.
This is all adults.
I had a question for you. Are those the leagues? Is the leagues?
Yes.
Okay.
Recreation leagues. We don't give equipment to tournament teams.
Okay. So rec league board members have been contacted?
Absolutely. So I just wanted to let you know that that's a big part of the problem that I'm having with recreation.
Michelle, I just want to, read that number you used there. You say $10,000 worth of equipment?
Oh, I would say easy. Each one of these represents a bag of equipment with 5 batting helmets, 2 chin guards, chest protector, catcher's mask, and helmet. We don't charge them for balls. We don't charge them for bats.
Ms. Cheryl?
Cheryl, are these coaches that are no longer coaching that have these?
They won't be coaching in my leagues if they don't bring me that equipment back this year. That's what we're doing this year, is they come to pick up a bag of equipment. If I do not have a bag from you, you can use the same one you had last year, or you can pay me the value of the
That was
equipment.
what I was going to ask. I mean,
And a bag is right at $100. So you're looking at a lot of money.
I have one more question. Cheryl, what method do we use to ensure that we get the equipment back? Do we take a credit card? Do we take a driving license? Or
I take their legal signature.
Well, we have to
I
work
do
on
not
that
have the
policy.
authority to charge them for equipment. I am going to try that this year, but again, that's going through finance and legal to make sure that I can assess them that. I have equipment in here from 2005 where we've made 5 and 6 phone calls.
All right, Ms. Cheryl.
Cheryl, what about the league president? Can you not have him?
I will say that the boards have been very cooperative in trying to get this equipment back to us, but again, it's a lack of responsibility on the part of an individual coach.
I mean, do you know right now that you won't get, has ball started yet?
They will start picking up equipment next week.
But I mean, will all of them be looking to pick up equipment, or will some of them already have theirs and not be looking?
We shall see. I don't
That's
know.
what I'm asking. I'm
We
asking
shall see.
how many of the items there are really, just coaches that have just kept their equipment and looking to come back, this spring. How many is actual people that are not returning it?
Well, when you're issued the equipment, we ask for it back by a certain day. And so that is so that we can inventory and repair and get rid of and then order new equipment. This year we ordered equipment based on what we needed and did not have in our storage facility. And that's because
Of that.
of this. So I will know as they come in, but we shall see. It's a lack of responsibility, and I guess when they come to get the bag and they don't have the other bag, legally it constitutes theft, but I'm not an enforcement agency.
Cheryl, can you give us a report at our next committee meeting on the dollar value of what we have out there and how much you're issuing out on that? So that
Absolutely.
would give us a reflection that we are issuing out so much equipment and how much we still have out there unaccountable.
Absolutely, and I'm really hoping that since I brought it to the Recreation Committee, those coaches that are watching, hopefully tomorrow and the next day I'll have a flood of bags coming in.
Okay.
We shall see.
Mr. Dempsey.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Cheryl, I just want to, I know we got the numbers down here on the sign-up, and we're going to have a few coaches that is going to be missing. So let's make this transition as easy as possible.
Trying my best.
And, let's try to get the equipment back together.
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I had a coach bring a bag back today and was an all-star coach. And so he kept the equipment, and then the season got away from him. That's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with you bringing it back 3 or 4 months later. But, I mean, I have coaches in here who've had their equipment since 2004.
That's something we need to get out to. We're going to be looking for some additional coaches. So.
Okay, good. So we'll put the call out now. We need coaches in baseball and softball and t-ball.
Yes, ma'am. My kids are real active in both softball and the baseball program, and they enjoy it thoroughly. You had mentioned that the numbers were down, and I can tell you, I don't know who usually puts out the notifications. I know they go out in the
leagues.
Okay. All right. I found out, and my kids have been in these programs for 5-6 years. I found out because my son's coach from last year called me on my cell phone in a grocery store. My sister, whose boys played for 4 or 5 years, did not receive a call from anybody. No notifications went out to the schools.
Yes, they did.
They didn't come home, and our kids. I know you're not responsible.
Well,
for that.
Can I just add something about the school board? The school board did that as a privilege for us.
Right.
To keep us from sending out 20,000 sheets of paper for every sport. The school board is tasked to educate the children. So if the teacher has the time, that is something. We consider that a privilege, and we're very happy for that. However, the school board is not charged with making sure that the school children know the registration dates.
I understand that.
I wanted to get that straight.
I understand that. I'm just saying perhaps one of the reasons why the numbers were down this year is because it seems like a lot of people that I'm hearing from had no idea that the sign-up was when it was, okay? And, I mean, I'm not trying to put the blame on anybody. I'm just saying that seems to be a fact that, in the past, some sort of notifications got out enough so that people knew. This year, I don't know that happened.
In the paper. It was in the paper. Yeah. We always register the last Saturday of February, the first Saturday of March. We have been doing it that way for a few years now. Basketball, if you play basketball for our league, you are mailed a registration form and you are mailed a label so that all you have to do is fill it out. Even with that, I have late registration for people who do not. So we have tried everything, but again, any and all suggestions are welcome. I've even had a suggestion that I bring registrations to you as the Recreation Committee and let you do it. I have vetoed that. You are a legislative branch.
Correct. One thing, I'm getting a lot of people saying they're watching Channel 21. For these registrations, we could post that for the whole week.
Yes, and Betty Robert has very graciously offered to do that for us.
So we need to maybe think about that next time.
Absolutely. Okay. Ready to move on? We have started painting the Santa Ma Center on the outside. I would like to invite you all to come by and look at the center. It has been freshly painted. Floors have been stripped. We've had an absolutely beautiful wedding in there. We've had 2 tournaments. We had a tournament, the Coach I tournament. We had a very successful tournament there, and we had a successful tournament again at Butch Gore this past weekend. We have Chip Durham coming in from Nichols in June to do a baseball clinic at Stevens Park. We have a regional tournament at the end of June for softball. We have a tournament on Father's Day for softball. And we have set our dates for our Special Tuesdays. It will start on June the 12th, and it will go through July the 31st. Questions, comments, concerns?
While we're talking about Special Tuesday, we have Ms. Bobby Blanchard in the audience, and I would like her to come up. And I think we need to get on the same page here. This has been a voluntary.
Yes, it has been, but I would suggest that we have a meeting outside of this, not at this particular venue.
I'd like Ms. Bobby to come to the mic and give a little presentation of what's been going on for the last 11 years under her program. And it's been working, and it's from the heart. It's a handicap day that they have like an 8-week program that is awesome. and I think we need to continue letting her do that because it is coming from her heart.
Excuse me.
She doesn't. Ms.
Can I ask
hang
a
on second.
question?
You have the floor.
She doesn't get paid for it, and it's actually costing her money. And her kids and daughter and grandsons help her with this program. I think we need to continue this program, especially this year, and let her continue like she's been doing. We've been funding about $3,500 a year on it. I think that needs to stay there. And,
It's been increased.
well, that's great. If it's increased.
And there has been no effort to move anybody away from the program.
So, Ms. Bobby, if you want to come to the...
Ms. Bobby,
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Is that all of Cheryl's report? And
Yes.
we get her back up. I did have a couple other questions.
Well, you go ahead and finish.
I'm sorry, and I apologize. In fact, you want to do that? You want to just put it on the agenda, Todd, and just make it official?
Yes, that concludes my report.
Okay.
Mr. Dempsey,
Helen's back.
Mr.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Helen Bates.
Go ahead. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate that report and update, Cheryl, and all your hard work that you're doing. Two questions I have. One, the recently donated property on off of Manchac Acres Road.
Yes, sir.
17 acres, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
For a park site. Can you kind of give an update, what's going on?
Monday night, we will be having a town meeting at the Oak Grove Community Center at 6:30. I think I mentioned that last month. I've invited the public to come out basically to get their input on naming the park and things that they would like to see in the park, explaining a little bit about what detention property is,
Right.
and what we can and cannot do with that property, and then getting their input so that as we develop that park, it will be with the residents of that area in mind.
Okay, Monday night at 6:30, and that's
Yes, sir.
Oak Grove Center?
Yes, sir.
I hope that's being posted on Channel 21 like Mr. Lambert said.
I submitted it to the public information officer. I've invited y'all. I will.
Yeah, okay.
I've got the press coming.
Contact Ozzy personally on that, which leads to the second question. The Oak Grove Center itself.
Yes, sir.
Now, sometime back, you were meeting with state officials trying to get grant money from Mr. Cleve.
Yes, LWCF money.
Right, and can you kind of give an update as far as are we going to be able to obtain any grant money?
We are looking to try and facilitate something at the Oak Grove site. However, even with LWCF money, it will not fund the building. LWCF is not about buildings. So the best that we could hope for would be the LWCF money would facilitate the structures around the building. So, and currently we do not have the money in the recreation budget to build a new community center.
Yeah.
So that's basically where we are, is
Well, I bring that up because you and I both know
Yes.
How inadequate
Yes.
that facility is for trying to serve the northern end of the parish, which is my district, and Ms. Fontenot's district, and Mr. Lambert, and anyone in the parish can use it. Mr. Bauerger's,
Right.
Mr. Valentine's.
I've used it and I don't live there.
Right, and the message is if you approach administration at all about possibly putting some additional money in the budget for some improvements to the existing center. Is that
Well, we have some ideas to improve the existing center that we can do within the constraints of our budget. Having said that, the park itself doesn't lend itself to much more development than that is already there. We can put some more benches, some more picnic tables, we can maybe expand some of the facilities there, but other than it being a small park with a community center, the land just doesn't give itself to that. Now, we have talked, and I'm not sure who was in this conversation with me, but we have talked about approaching the CVS pharmacy that is building on the site in front of it to see if they would be willing to help us facilitate the back part of that property, since it's going to border their site.
Right.
And from what I've seen over there, it looks like they've started doing the dirt work for the CVS pharmacy and have kind of filled in that ditch a little bit. So,
yeah, all the culverts and everything?
right. So we're
in
hopeful
place.
that maybe we can partner with some businesses over there. But I would
What-
remind you, Councilman, that the 17 acres is right up the road.
Right.
And the FEMA buyout properties are also in the northern part of the parish. So we are trying our best
But
within those
it all
constraints.
It all boils down to the fact that the center itself is very inadequate, And as for what's there, a lot of that's not used at all, the tennis courts and basketball courts, that kind of thing. But I would like to see maybe, and it's maybe something we can discuss. We just go ahead and put it on the agenda. But I'd like to see some input from the administration on and that facility being improved. When I say the facility, I'm talking about the building itself, because it's way inadequate for the site and for the amount of population in the area. So,
Will do.
okay, thank you.
And
Thank you very much for that report.
Thank you for that report, Ms. Kemp.
Any other?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I want to go ahead and go ahead and put it 2/3 to bring this on the agenda for
I'll second.
Special Tuesday. Make a motion.
Okay, motion on the floor for the 2/3 on it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against? I have. You have the floor, ma'am. Would you place your name?
Item at 3A.
Bobby Blanchard, and I'm with Special Tuesday. And good afternoon. Evening now. But anyway, I was asked to come and give a little synopsis of what Special Tuesday is. It was started on account of my grandson, Bo, who died of a severe, profound disease, homocystinuria methylmalonic aciduria type C. Very rare, and it's only, they had 40 in the world and 8 in Louisiana with it. That's some strong odds. But anyway, I started it because he and his friends had nowhere to go without being made fun of or laughed at, because they couldn't speak. Some of them drooled. They couldn't walk right. And you find these children, when I was with he and his friends, would revert back home. They didn't want to go in society, because they know that when people are making fun of them, they might not have the perfect mind, but they know in their hearts when someone's laughing at them instead of with them. So I just started working on it in November, and I had also had to have a bone transplant in my neck, where I was paralyzed on my left side. And that's what made me realize there was no place for anyone with disabilities to go. So I started working on this, and I had it at my home with just a few kids, just a few of the little other disabled kids. And then my home burnt. I couldn't replace my home because Social Security had me deceased for 5 years. I lost everything. So then I was offered a place at Sorrento. Well, we started it up there, and that was through Mr. Tommy Martinez. And it was so hot, because it wasn't air-conditioned, that they moved us then to Sanamar, which was fine. But it increased so much that we outgrew it, including a place to put the equipment. So then they air-conditioned Sorrento again, and we all went there, and we've been there since. And it's really a wonderful site for them. There's parking. On the days that it's raining, the vans that from the 4 homes that come can go under there. We can open the doors. It takes a long time to get those big wheelchairs unloaded. Then they can just circle around and go park, and the kids don't get wet. So it really is a wonderful place, and it's big enough. And now we're at the point where, after Katrina, we inherited more. In fact, 35 more that are in very large wheelchairs. So when you get more people, and we had over 300 this last summer, you need more things. You need more food, you need more games, you need things fixed because they're being used a lot, and you have to take them in and out of a little closet that I've got, and kind of stack it on top of each other, so things do get broken when you're moving it back and forth. And I really, please keep in mind, it's a wonderful place, and it's a wonderful program for these kids. If you see them smile, if you see them give you hugs, you just would not believe. The program is not designed to, you do this now, you do that now. It's designed for when that child comes in. If they want to play hockey, they can play hockey. If they want to play volleyball, and they do. Of course, we can't use a regular volleyball. We use a beach ball. If they want to play basketball, if they want to fish, I got a swimming pool that I fill up with fake fish and fishing rods, and they catch these fish. We have bingo at the end of the day when everybody calms down from 5 to 6, and they love it. They can play bingo, and you do not hear a pin drop. It's not only teaching them numbers, it's teaching them letters, and they get a prize. I go to the local people, and I buy things cheaply, on sale. We put them on a table, and that's their gifts. And sometimes we have bags of cookies out there. That's their gift when they win bingo. Any questions?
I basically, want to keep it like it is. I think we had some questions that it was going to be a little change in process, and I guess that's why we're here today, to make sure that it continue on like it's been. And if we have extra funding, fine. I'm all for that. But I want Miss Bobby to be the director of this, because, like I say, it's coming from her heart, and I believe she is doing this really. It actually costs her a little money out of her pocket to do this project. A lot. And we are blessed to have her.
And
to
look,
do
the
these for
school
these
board,
handicapped kids, and
they come in and help.
Also, so it's
they cannot. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
The school board comes in and helps me. They cannot provide Cokes, candy, cakes, cookies, ice cream, but they can provide me a meat, a vegetable, a bread, a milk. This comprises a hamburger, and that's how we get them done. And we can, or a hot dog, and we have nachos, we have ice cream, cookies, cakes. We have to have Diet Cokes for those that are diabetics. We have to have Diet cookies and cakes, and all that's in that. Whatever they don't provide, I provide.
Go ahead, Ms. Sharon.
I just wanted to reiterate what Todd said, that we'd like to see the program to continue, and I think that the majority of the council people that I've talked to really are supportive of our volunteers. We have volunteers in many aspects. We have volunteers up here tonight.
Wonderful.
These two beautiful ladies here are volunteering their time to see to it that recreation has everything that it needs. And I just wanted to make sure that that I stated publicly that I support our volunteers, and we will work, Miss Bobby, with with the director and other people to see that if we can put something together that we can bring peace back into the situation so that our kids can have a great summer.
Yes.
Yes, and volunteers, I have the Connect teams that come in. I have Junior ROTC. I have students from different churches that need hours. They bring their paper. I sign them. I sign the time that they stayed. And Lena and Leslie, who went in for LSU, was applauded for their certificates of appreciation for volunteering for Special Tuesday. And it just brings everybody together. There is no one force. You do what you want. These children are told every day, even when to use the bathroom. They're told when to eat. Doctors, nurses, injections, hospitals. I mean, it's just an ongoing struggle for them. When they walk through the door at Special Tuesday, it's, sweetie, if you want to play basketball, you play basketball. If you want to play volleyball, you play volleyball. If you want to sit down and play the computer games that I got, you can do that too. Whatever they want. And the stuffed animals at Christmas, look, let me tell you something.
Ms.
That
Bobby.
is all donated.
Ms. Bobby, I don't want just
I gotta
the last time. We have a couple more things. And Ms. Bobby, we all in agreement with that. We will
Continue it.
Continue. Ms. Sharon Kent, if we can also work together on this and look and see if we can find us some grant money for this program, I would hopefully we would look in that area for that.
Excuse me. And Bobby will be coming to meet with me in my office to get all this straight.
Sound good?
Yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
So I will be able to continue
Yes,
like
ma'am.
I've been doing.
The council is in agreement with,
Right. So you're going to work, you
it will
just get with
continue
Ms.
on.
Cheryl, and y'all work these details out, and with next meeting, if you have any problem, come to the next
Definitely
meeting,
come
put it
on
on the
back.
agenda.
Thank you.
And we'll work that problem out. Okay?
Thank all of you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Bowden.
Oh, and by the way, when y'all decide if y'all want to volunteer, please don't come dressed up. They might think you're a doctor or a nurse.
All right.
Come in old clothes, because you will leave with chili and mustard and everything else on you.
All right, Ms. Bowden.
Please come.
God bless you, Ms. Bowden.
Before we continue here, I'd just like to recognize our former parish president, Mr. Harold Marshall, is out there in the audience, and thank you for coming by there, Harold. Our next thing on the agenda is West Ascension Recreation Finance Report. No one is here. We'll move on from there. Our next agenda item.
Move we adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All right. All in favor of the meeting be adjourned, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.